Hi everyone, Big Pauly back for a brand new video. Yes, I've been tagged and it didn't hurt. Yes, I've been tagged by Kermits Ghost. Thank you very much, Alan. This is for the top 10 tag of my favourite films. So we've got horror, animated, drama, comedy, sci-fi, action, comic book, western, romantic and adventure. Quite a lot. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got all the movies out ready. So let's go through my top 10 tag. Okay, so first up is horror. And with horror, I had to go with the film that scared the crap out of me. Yes, Alien. Yes, from Ridley Scott. This is the original Alien, the 40th anniversary 4K. The 4K picture quality is fantastic. I love this film. The alien design by H.R. Giger is incredible and has carried throughout the Alien movies in various different incarnations. And I believe he also designed the creature from Species as well. But yeah, this is about a group of explorers on board a spaceship that stop off at this planet and pick up alien life form. And poor John Hurt has a very unfortunate dinner engagement. And I still remember the spoof they did of that scene where the little alien popped out with a top hat and a cane. I think it might have been Scary Movie or something, but that was hilarious. Yeah, the tension in this film is fantastic. The music is great. It is really scary, even though at that point it was only a man in a suit, you know, as opposed to CGI or anything like that. And it also includes a lovely ginger cat called Jonesy, so you can't go wrong. Brilliant cast, John Hurt, our first taste of the lovely Sigourney Weaver. We've got Yaphet Kotto, Veronica Cartwright, Ian Holm, loads of cast members. Brilliant cast. I've always been torn which film I prefer, Alien or Aliens. I probably do prefer Aliens because it's James Cameron and it's action-packed. But this I would stick under horror any day because, yeah, it's a scary film and very claustrophobic in these dark places in the spaceship. So, Alien. That's my choice for horror. Okay, so time to pick animated. This film is from 1995. This is our first introduction to the wonderful world of Pixar. Yes, the very first film in the catalogue, mainstream, because they did have a few shorts before that. This is Disney Pixar's Toy Story. What is it about? It's about toys that come to life. With Woody, the cowboy, Buzz Lightyear, the spaceman, we get everything. We get Rex, Bo Peep, we get Mr. Potato Head. There's so many toys in this film. There are 4 Toy Story films now, and I love them equally. But for me, the original Toy Story will always be my favourite of the Pixar movies. And that scene is fantastic and sounds awesome with surround. It's just a nostalgic film and takes you back to your childhood when you was playing with your toys, all different types of toys, whether it be Slinky Dog or the little plastic soldiers. And it's a great family film and it never gets boring. I could watch this for the rest of my life and never get bored. That is Toy Story. That's my entry for animated. Next up on my list is drama. There is really only one film that I was going to stick in the drama tag, and that is The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, the story of Andy Dufresne, played by Tim Robbins, who was convicted for killing his wife, sent to prison, and we had an entire life with him in this prison. The ups, the downs, the friendships he formed, particularly with Red, played by the brilliant Morgan Freeman, who also narrates most of the film, and his eventual plan to actually break out of the prison. This film is just fantastic. Written by Stephen King. The performances are incredible. There are numerous guest stars, including William Sadler. We have the brilliant Clancy Brown playing the hard-hitting prison officer. Fantastic in this. Plus the warden as well, who's brilliant in this film. The music is great. The cinematography is fantastic. Look at that prison scene. And the prison that they actually used for that is actually a place where you can visit and you can see the filming locations. So yeah, that is The Shawshank Redemption. That's my entry for drama. Okay, so now my entry for comedy. Okay, my entry for comedy, I was torn between two movies. One directed by John Hughes and one directed by John Landis. But as much as I love Coming to America, the hilarious original movie with Eddie Murphy, I had to go for Trains, Planes and Automobiles with the brilliant John Candy and Steve Martin. The comedy in this is fantastic. The film is about Steve Martin's character who, trying to get home for Thanksgiving to his family, runs into John Candy, and they travel by planes, trains and automobiles in order to get Steve Martin home for his family Thanksgiving. There are some hilarious scenes in the film, including the car scene with John Candy getting his arms and his coat stuck and going up the wrong way, up the freeway. But yeah, there are some really great scenes in the film. A lot of comedy. The one scene me and my mum absolutely loved and we just curled up was the car rental scene. With the poor old lady behind the desk. I don't know how anybody managed to keep a straight face for that. That was absolutely hilarious. And it's also a heartwarming film as well, as we learn more about John Candy's character. But yeah, that is my entry into comedy. Okay, my entry for sci-fi. Now, many people would probably think, oh, well, that's easy. He's going to go for Empire Strikes Back. Yes, that is my favourite movie of all time, but that's not the one I've picked for sci-fi. For sci-fi, we're going with a crowd pleaser, a sky puncher with fantastic corny dialogue, brilliant special effects, one-liners, and a lot of spaceships. Independence Day, the original film with Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum and so many more people. This was fantastic watching this in the cinema for the first time. This was a proper summer blockbuster. I love how it ended building up to the 4th of July and you just came out of the cinema with goosebumps because it was such a great roller coaster ride, and it's too bad the second film wasn't as memorable as the first. I do enjoy the second film, but nowhere near as much as this film. The special effects in this, the iconic scenes in this, blowing up the White House, blowing up the Empire State Building, it's just a fantastic film. As I say, a lot of witty dialogue, great pacing, never gets boring. Incredible music by David Arnold, one of my favourite soundtracks of all time. And the scene in the tunnel with the dog makes me cry every time because it's such a great and it's such a touching moment. But yeah, that is my entry into sci-fi Independence Day. Okay, so now we head to my action choice. And my action choice is, of course, Die Hard. This could have actually come under action/Christmas. Yes. Bruce Willis, John McClane, the original Die Hard. Although some of the sequels are good, apart from the last one, this is what it's all about. I used to watch Bruce Willis in Moonlighting, as probably many of you did. And when they first announced that Bruce Willis was going to be an action hero in an era of Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Van Damme and all that kind of stuff, you know, Chuck Norris, it was laughable. How can this man be an action star? Did he pull it off or didn't he? Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't imagine anybody else in this role. John McClane, a New York cop on vacation in LA to meet up with his ex-wife, see his kids, spend a bit of time, and unfortunately he gets invited to a big glamorous do at the Nakatomi Plaza, and unfortunately Alan Rickman's there with all his henchmen, and it's all about John McClane going up against these baddies. And we don't hold back in this film. That's why it's an 18. There's no, oh, excuse me, Mr. Gruber, can you put your gun down? It's put your gun down, you bastard. Yeah, we didn't pussy about with an action film like this. We didn't dumb it down for the snowflake audience. This is Die Hard. Accept it or get off the bus. Now that's speed. Insane action scenes in this film, including that fantastic elevator scene, which, if you've got a sound system, you crank that right up to 100 and I swear it'll blow your neighbours out. Yes, action, Die Hard. Bruce Willis, you can't say any more than that. So that is my choice for action. My next choice is for comic book. Now, I'm not going to pick the easy route out and pick my favourite Marvel movie, Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to go back, way back to the 70s, to Superman. Yes, this was my introduction to the world of Superman through the eyes of Christopher Reeve. This was such an iconic film, it still is, and Superman have come, Superman have gone. Christopher Reeve is the only Superman. Even though Henry Cavill is really good, yeah, it's Christopher Reeve. Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman, perfectly cast. Superman 2 is also a great film with General Zod and his gang. But for me, this is where it all began. The scene with the helicopter on the roof. Don't worry, miss, I've got you. If you've got me, who's got you? Yes, there are so many iconic scenes. The dam and travelling back through time. And I still get goosebumps now. Just even thinking about that scene. When Superman rips that door off that car and finds a dead Lois Lane and his scream. That is powerful. That is a powerful, and you can see that in Christopher Reeve's face. And that is my choice for comic book. Okay, so my choice for Western is a little bit of a detour because it's not anything like Clint Eastwood. Wow, actually, it could be. Okay, so my choice for Western is Back to the Future Part 3. Yes, proof that Westerns and sci-fi go together hand in hand. This is the third chapter in the Back to the Future trilogy, and this has everything you want for a Back to the Future film set in Western times. We get Doc Brown, we get Biff Tannen, and we get the town of Hill Valley as it was being created. As you can see in the background there, the clock tower is only just being built, and we have an arrow stuck in the DeLorean. Michael J. Fox, absolutely fantastic as Clint Eastwood. And the scene at the end with the train, wow. Perfect way to end the trilogy. And when I used to go on holiday with my folks to Disney, Florida, they actually had the full-size train in Universal Studios, so I did take my photograph next to it, but I'm not flying on the ground. But yes, that is my choice for Western, Back to the Future Part 3. My choice for romantic. My choice for romantic can only be one thing. Yes, my choice for romantic, Titanic. You can't get any more romantic than this, about a girl, a boy, a doomed ship falling in love. And if Rose had moved her ass a little bit on that bit of wood, maybe Jack might have been saved. This is from James Cameron. The music is beautiful in this film, the cinematography, a great cast including Billy Zane, David Warner, Kathy Bates, so many people in this film. And yeah, the Titanic is probably going to be the closest you'll ever get to actually being on that ship. And no detail was spared where they had, you know, things like the plates made and the woodwork, and there was so much that went into the making of the film. They even had the ship in a little pool that dipped up and went down. And as you can see, there's the ill-fated ship on its journey. Whereas the first half of the film is clearly a love story, the second half of the film is where the action kicks in. And if you've got a sound system, you've got to crank that up. Because after the Titanic hits that iceberg, the sound system really shows us what it's all about. The creaking of the ship, the rumbling when Jack and Rose were walking around this ship and it was about to break in half. And the sounds that you get emanating all around you put you right in the middle of this ship. And yeah, it's such a great film. Okay, so my last pick is for adventure. And adventure has one name. My pick for adventure is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yes, the very first Indiana Jones film, introducing us to Indiana Jones, played brilliantly by Harrison Ford, Karen Allen. We got so many other characters. We join Indy and his archaeological adventures as he's pitted up against the Nazis to stop them getting them hands on the Ark of the Covenant. And although the other Indiana Jones films are great, the fourth film is okay. But for me, Raiders of the Lost Ark comes in first. Beautiful scenes, beautiful cinematography. Of course, you can't go wrong with a John Williams score. One-liners, we have John Rhys Davies, absolutely fantastic as Salah. That was our first introduction for Indiana Jones. And there are so many iconic moments in this film, from the opening of the Ark of the Covenant, to the fight scene with the plane and Pat Roach, to the rolling boulder with Alfred Molina. But yeah, this is a truly great adventure film. Okay, so that is my 10 favourite films in my collection for the top 10 tag. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again, Alan, Kermits Ghost, for tagging me in this. I have tagged a few other people. If you've already done it, then just ignore it. You don't have to do it. But I've tagged Bluraybulletbrit Pete, BluView, MovieMad and FilmFan108. So if you want to have a go at doing a top 10 tag, go for it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. And I shall see you all on the next video. Bye bye.